Sheila, welcome to the cave.
Thank you so much, Elias. Great to be here.
Thank you for giving me a few minutes today. You know, the listeners and viewers that are tuning in can see you on Apple TV's Plus. I love the show, by the way. Tehran, season 2. How does that make you feel so far? How does this ride feel?
Oh my God, it's amazing. I never imagined. I knew that the character I'd be playing was very intricately involved in the plot in season 1. I had no idea where it was going to go in season 2. So it's a lot of fun.
So the show came out a few years ago, and then there was a little gap between the 2 years because at first it was introduced in Europe, and then Apple TV picked it up, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How did all that happen?
Well, it's just a great show, and Apple TV is one of those streaming services that really believes in doing things that are international so that people can put themselves in the shoes of characters that don't look like them, characters that live in different countries. And that's one of the things I love about Apple TV. And this is definitely one of those shows. There are 3, sometimes 4 different languages being spoken at one time. The audience does have to be a little higher brow audience to read subtitles, but it pays off.
Yeah, well, it definitely drags you in when you're watching it. You're like, oh man, like what's happening here? You got to make sure you pay attention to the subtitles or you might miss something.
Right, exactly.
What's your, like, when the people are tuning in for the first time to watch the show, like, what are you hoping they get out of it?
What I hope they get out of it is that if they had any judgments against people of, let's say, Iran or people of Israel, I hope that they see that we are all the same, that we have the same desires, the same problems. You know, it's that the unity of humanity is really important to me. And being an Iranian American, I've been able to I've noticed how difficult it is to be an Iranian in America. Growing up here, I grew up here. I've been here for 44 years. And it was so frustrating to meet people and to try and explain to them that the images that they see of Iranians in the media is not what we are. The people are very different from the government. And this show shows that.
How was that? How did you get an approach for this project?
I was approached because Shaun Toub and I played man and wife on another Apple TV project called Little America. And that is an anthology series about immigrants in America. And so Shaun Toub got the project first, and he suggested me for the role of his wife because we'd already built a rapport from the past. And so that's how, and then the director, Danny Serkin, came to town and he took Shaun and I out to dinner. And when he explained that, you know, this female character, she's not an ornamental placeholder as so many wife characters are, that they're like, oh, honey, are you okay? Oh, you know, but that she's very intricately involved in season 1, and then, as we said, more so in season 2. It just really inspired me to do the part, and also to see that Danny himself and all the creators of the show, Moshe Zonder, Donna Eden, who's the producer and creator, Julien Leroux, Alana Lanya, that they, Omri Shenhar, they are all, they root for Iranian people. They know Iranian people and love Iranian people. So I knew that it wasn't going to be a negative representation of Iranians, but that all the characters, even the anti-heroes, are very nuanced and full-fleshed and human.
Season 1 was filmed a few years ago. Do you remember the description of your character, and how did you decide how you wanted to play her?
Well, I did a lot of work crafting the character because she's so different from who I am. That, you know, first of all, she's someone who's lived in Iran, Iran is her country. I mean, of course, Iran is my country and I love Iran, but I have not been back to Iran since I was 10 years old. She's someone who fell in love with a man who works for the government, that's how much she loves her country.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's certainly in season 1. She's also someone who was educated in the West. So she speaks English fluently. She speaks French fluently. So it was kind of a difficult character to play. And I ended up crafting the character with the help of a friend of mine who is my creative partner, Hitoshi Inoue. We make films together, and he's a wonderful director, and he has an eye for film and television. So we crafted the character together. So I can't take complete, you know, it wasn't all just me by myself. I had help.
Before filming season 2, did you go back just to rewatch season 1 since it was that long before you filmed? Just to get an idea of what happened again, or?
Yeah, yes, I did. I had to go back and watch Nahid's scenes to see the accent that I was doing for her, because it's hard to remember that exactly her melody and, you know, the way she sounded. I wanted to get it right.
Now, throughout the few episodes that have aired for season 2, we've noticed your character has changed a bit. What's your thoughts on that?
I am thrilled that my character has changed a bit. I think part of it was because I feel like, and I'm so grateful that the team, when they saw my work, they felt that as an actor that I'm capable enough to be able to work with what they were giving me in season 2, which is a lot of psychological trauma issues. And yeah.
How do you prepare for something like that? Do you try to go watch something else to get an idea like how you're going to play this character in the second season?
I don't watch other people acting, but I did watch dozens and dozens of YouTube videos of actual people who really had PTSD and agoraphobia, to see the little things that happen in their eyes. This one woman, you know, I'm not going to name, and I wouldn't even remember, but comes to mind that the way that she was speaking about her fears and trying to hold it in, and her eyes, I mean, there's just, watching it enough helped me to be able to go into a space like that and to at the least be able to mimic that.
Yeah. What do you think has been the biggest challenge playing this character? And is there anything you would change about her if you could?
It's hard. I tell you, I've been very heavily involved in theater, in Iranian theater, and I've been doing plays in the Persian language, and that it's how I perfected my Farsi. Not that I speak perfect, but I perfected theater and honed my acting skills, acting on stage for Iranian audiences for 20 years. And so film is different for me. And it's different in that, you know, if this was a play, as an actor, you have so much more agency and you have so much more power. And film is definitely a collaboration in a different way, that you give what you give, but in the end, it isn't your vision. There are lots of other people editing and having ideas of how it should be. So it's just, as an actor, it's just interesting. It's interesting and it's exciting and it's different.
Now, we noticed that, how was it working with the cast? We also saw that there was new cast members joining season 2 also.
Yes, as in Glenn Close. I mean, we had a lot of wonderful cast members. There's a lot of wonderful Iranian actors in exile that it was a pleasure to meet, and I made a lot of new friends. But having scenes with Glenn Close was the most incredible. I don't know if I will have anything this amazing happen to me in my life again, and I'm ready to die.
She give you any tips or any pointers?
She didn't give tips or pointers. She's too much of a consummate actor, you know, to do that. She's just doing her own thing. But I did learn a lot watching her. There's a stillness that she has, and there's a gravity that she has that just energetically puts you as an actor playing with her in a different space. And I just loved looking into her eyes. And that was hard because I stop and act like this is my house. I'm not going to look at you.
So I was doing a little research more on the show last night. I saw that it was filmed in Athens, Greece.
Mhm.
I'm from Greece. So I wonder, how did you love being there, and how long were you there for?
Okay. I love Greece so much. The Greek people, our crew, half of them were Greek, half were
Okay.
Israeli,
Yeah.
and it was just amazing. Greece, as an actor of the theater, that
Right.
the motherland of theater. I mean, the word theater is a Greek word. I didn't have much time in season 2, but in season 1, I had a chance to go to the theater Epidavros, which is this theater that, that's the one I'm sure it's 11,000 seats. You could
Yeah.
go in the center and throw a pin and you hear it. But the knowledge that Epidavros is this incredible theater that was built in the land of a hospital. So there's a hospital next door, and that thousands of years ago, the Greeks knew that if you have any physical ailments, that the best way to heal is through the catharsis of theater, because there's also a psychic and psychological element to healing. So I loved Greece so much, and the people and the food. And again, I'm telling you, I'm ready to die. I hope I don't die. But if this was it for me, I'm
Yeah.
thrilled.
I'm sure there's many more things you want to accomplish.
Yes, yes, there is. But this was the height of life for me as an actor.
Now, Tehran, Apple TV Plus. Now, has there been any word about a season 3 yet, or anything? Any news that you can tell us about?
I you know what? If you find out, could you let me know? I'd love that.
Now, what's next for you now? Any other projects you're allowed to tell us about?
I have a lot. You will be hearing my voice and you will be seeing my face in projects. But again, the NDAs these days, you have to sign for everything. But soon, I think in a few months, I'll be able to share more.
Actually, I had another question for you. I saw that you do voiceover work. How much do you love that?
I love it so much, so much. I did some voiceover work for a human rights watch in Iran, and they made these little short videos. They're short videos to shed light on the fact that the Iranian judicial system is really, they execute without due process. And there were some really sad stories that they gave some fake happy endings to, so that that would be palatable for people to watch. So for those cartoons, I played 10 different characters. I played all the characters except for one, the main female character. So I played like 5 or 6 different male voices. I played the judge and different police officers and the defendant. And that was very sad story, but it was great for a voiceover artist to get that kind of range.
That's amazing. Shila, how can the viewers and listeners find you on social media?
Thank you so much for asking. I'm Shila Ommi, ShilaOmmi, and I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook and Twitter, but mostly on Instagram. And if your listeners like animals, I post a lot about animals. I love animals.
Shila, this was great. Thank you for coming on. Give me a few minutes today.
Thank you so much. Wonderful to be with you.